This is Mary Schaefer. I'm here to talk to you today about privacy settings. And if you just follow my cursor, you'll see how we get to those. I'm going to talk about privacy settings particularly for that are relevant to job seekers and that they're most concerned about, but really anybody can benefit by this. The first one I want to look at here is around your public profile. And so you may or may not realize this, but people who aren't even on LinkedIn can put your name in an online search engine and put LinkedIn, and a link to your profile comes up. Now, if I would click this right now, this is what it would look like for someone who's not signed into LinkedIn. See, it has sign in up there, or someone who doesn't even have an account on LinkedIn. People can see as much or as little of your LinkedIn profile as you want. And as a job seeker, you might want people to see more. So I just want to point that out to you. As you can see here, people can see quite a bit of my profile. How do you control that? I'm back here to this privacy page. I go to change here and it brings up a screen. Now look down here over to the side, customize your public profile. And so you can see what I've checked off, what I do want people to see and what I don't want people to see. And let me emphasize, this is for people who can look at your LinkedIn profile, whether they have an account or not, or they may or may not be signed in. If you don't have these things checked, it can look pretty barren, like this box right here. You may think that may be enough, but you can limit it even more so to where it's not helping you, particularly if you're a job seeker. Just one little tip over here that's sort of a side note. You can actually adjust your public profile URL. A lot of times LinkedIn will assign it with your name and then a random number at the end. If you click that pencil right there, you can make it whatever you want. I recommend you make it something, number one, easy to remember, and also something you'd be willing to put on a resume. A lot of people are putting this URL on their resume now, so I just want you to point out that is there also. Let's go back to LinkedIn and look at profile or look at privacy settings again. Privacy, your public profile. Who can see your connections? I generally choose only you for any number of reasons. Sometimes you accept invitations from people you don't know really well, and I've heard of people, for instance, if I accept someone, they may contact one of my contacts and said, "Hey, Mary said it was okay that I contact you." You may or may not want that to happen. I've also heard of people having their contacts look at all their clients and may try to woo their clients. So it just depends on how you feel about that. Viewers of this profile also viewed. Let's look at what that means. Let me run to my profile here. And I'm sorry, it's not going to show up on my profile. I'm going to look up my friend John E. Smith and see what comes up for him. Okay, so you see here that people also viewed. So again, depending on how you feel about it, here's the setting for that. Viewers of this profile also viewed. I put no, particularly for job seekers. The people who are on that list around people also viewed, that's your competition for a job probably. And so you don't want just that to just hand that to people who are looking at your profile. Depending on your business, you may not want that either. So you are actually in charge of that and can change that setting. Let's look at sharing profile edits. In general, I suggest you have that set to no. Let me go to my profile here and show you what that means. So having it set to no means that if I hit this pencil here and want to change what my name says, what my headline says, anything like that, it will automatically not, by default, not notify my network that I changed that. You can change that in the moment right there, okay? But I leave it as a default unless, for instance, I'm opening a new business, or I'm starting a new job, or I'm changing my headline. And some people, uh, I'm sort of neither here nor there on that, say seeking new employment here. When you change your headline to say that, you might want to share that with your network. Okay, so you want to be mindful of how you use that setting. For instance, it's really helpful when you're overhauling your profile and you maybe making 10 changes in one day and you don't want to inundate your network with that. You pretty much want to set that off until there's one change that you absolutely do want them to see, and then you set it to on. But by default, I leave it off. Okay, viewing profile options. You probably have seen this. Let me go to my home page here, who viewed my profile. And so it shows me who viewed my profile. This person chose their setting to have it be, it has some of their characteristics, but it doesn't tell me who they are. This university professor at Howard College. There are a number of people who don't mind using their name, and sometimes it will have just no information, just someone looked at my profile. And that is controlled here. You may be tempted to be anonymous when you're looking at people's profiles, but know that it limits you in this way, that when you limit what people can see about you looking at them, you also, your history of who looks at you goes away. Okay? And so you want to be thoughtful about how you use that setting or not. Sometimes I'll set it as anonymous when there's one particular person I want to look at and I don't want to seem like a stalker, like it might be a new client or a client's hiring manager, and I don't want them worried about why I'm looking at them. I might set them that as anonymous, but you have to remember to go back and set it as full profile and full name and headline after you do that type of thing. Okay, let me see if there's anything else that I want to talk to you about here. I don't think so. So, Mary Schaefer, I have a website called LinkedInforyou.com if you want to engage me about working with you on LinkedIn. Obviously, you can find me on LinkedIn too and contact me that way. I hope this was helpful.